Welcome back. Let's talk some nerd shit. My Hero Academia, episode 74 to episode 78. 74, Lemillion. I like how this episode starts. Off the top, they're letting you know that Overhaul created these permanent cock-blocking bullets. Cock-blocking bullets because take your powers away, take your quirk away. So of course, they introduce these bullets. Obviously, someone's going to lose them. Lose the quirk ability. I think it's probably going to be Lemillion. Another thing that was interesting in here was they have this henchman. I forgot his name. I put the picture up. Who has the snitch quirk. A snitch quirk ability. They call it confession. I call it snitching. Because he makes you spill your guts. Now, the other interesting thing about it, it's possibly one of the most interesting and most powerful superhuman abilities across all types of comic books that you would see. Because they show him using this ability in an interesting way, or in a very paralyzing way, which you're about to do something, you're in the middle of an action, in the middle of this fight, and he makes you question your drive, your constitution, like everything that you're about. He makes you question it because he asks you this super hardcore personal question, and he puts that doubt in your mind. That was a pretty cool moment. That's a pretty powerful ability. So if the person doesn't know what they're about, or doesn't have a strong enough constitution, they're just gonna fold. It's gonna put doubt in your mind, and in that split second, boom, villain takes over. It's very powerful ability across Marvel, DC, across everything. It's one of the most powerful abilities I've ever seen. Of course, until you come across someone like Batman who knows what they're about 100%, just proceeds to kick the shit out of you. Lemillion catches up with Overhaul. And some more interesting characters here. When he finally catches up to him, there's this character named Sloshed that creates a perma waste field, as I like to call it. If you are within the radius of his effect, you become intoxicated. You feel your central nervous system is affected the same way it would if you were intoxicated. Interesting. Now here, he gets shot. It's this dope fight. He gets shot by the cock blocker round. I still think that he could have. He's so quick when they first show you. When he first comes up in season 3, he's so quick with his powers, where he can drop down and pop up behind somebody. He's so fast. Why wasn't it the same way in this one? I mean, we know why, because of the plot. But it was just kind of like, I see what you're doing. So he takes the bullet to save Aerie. Of course, it's very dramatic. Hit the spot. This is what I've been waiting for. It's starting to ramp up. You can feel the music, the dramatic, him fighting, getting stabbed by the spikes that Overhaul is creating. All the Full Metal Alchemist. It's really cool shit.
I'll become a hero and save people.
Episode 75, Unforeseen Hope. Deku busts into the scene like he's a Kool-Aid man. It's very kind of low moment. You're like, what's gonna happen to Lemillion? And bam, homie just comes through and shit, ready to save the day. Now Overhaul is busting out some crazy fusion tricks. They're showing his ability more. It's a pretty trippy thing. He unmakes things and remakes, but then he starts to do that to himself. That part's crazy. And then he brings that other dude back to life. So even if you knock off one of his henchmen and you think, okay, that's done with. You get distracted. Overhaul goes over to him in the middle of the fight. Bam! Back in action. Now here in episode 75 is where they reveal that Togatai has lost his quirk. Night Eye looks like he's done. Night Eye takes one of these massive spikes to the chest. He looks into the future and he sees Deku and Lemillion dead, and Overhaul makes off with the girl. Just kind of foreboding people. Of course, you know that something dope is going to happen for that future not to come true, but this is very good setup. Now we get a break in the action when the people who were fighting in the compound above just come through the floor. Episode 76, Infinite 100. I had kind of heard about this episode. I had heard rumblings about this episode. I was still in school at the moment, so I just had to kind of ignore it the best that I could. How people were, Midoriya is that dude, and this one he pops off, he does all this crazy shit, and I was kind of like, I wanted to see it so bad, but tests. The episode starts with going back to the side characters. And even I was kind of confused for a moment when I saw that there was a doppelganger, Deku, who was telling the heroes, "Hey, get to the bottom of this compound. Shit's popping off in the bottom, underground. You guys need to get there." Even I was thinking, like, wait, how did he get out there so fast? A nice little interference played by the LOD. Now this is where Aries shows off her rewind powers, and it still feels like there is a death moment approaching, like someone's gonna die. That's what it feels like. Deku notices when he's up there in the air with the girl that he kicked really hard, but his leg isn't messed up or anything. So they land, he ties the girl on his back, realizes what she can do, and it is on. Well, this is cool. They got some really cool moments here, because Overhaul just keeps deconstructing parts of his body and reconstructing them in a much bigger way. And he says, just because I can do this doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. So that's how much hatred he's got in him at the moment. He's like, fuck it, I'm going for broke on this shit. He's throwing regard for life and limb just out the way, like, I'm winning this one. You fools ain't fucking with me. I'm taking this shit all the way. So he starts doing this, and you can see him in the air, and he's just becoming this massive monster in the air, in the sky, floating. And this is where Deku fucking does his thing. 100%. Unlocks the power. Unleashes the power. And it just starts taking this dude apart. And then they have that one moment where the animation switches up, and it is, oh my god, it is so beautiful. This is the shit that I'm talking about. This is the type of stuff, this is why I love anime. How they slow it down. He's moving so fucking fast. And how they just slow it down in a moment. And his guard is opening up, and you can see it in his eye, and you can see the spark and the reflection of Deku in his eye. And then they show you what he's seeing, and Deku looks like a fucking demon. And and you see like all those fucking fists coming at him all at one time. That's who I'm gonna be! That's that shit. That's that shit I'm talking about, man. That's that shit. It was just, I sat there and I watched it maybe like 5 times. As I was watching the episode, I just replayed it to the beginning. When he ties Arion to his back with the scarf. I sat there and watched it 5 times. That scene, I'm telling you, man, that scene. The animation. But it was just good directing also. The directing was amazing, how opening his guard, the spark, slow motion, and they show you what he sees and his like fucking demon about to bust his ass. So of course he connects, fucks him up, knocks him out. But of course the girl can't control her power yet, so it might be a Benjamin Button type situation for Midoriya. But Eraserhead takes a look at her, deactivates the quirk. The story continues. Episode 77, Bright Future. So this episode begins reliving the amazing moment from the previous episode. Tamaki with the save. Now they have this fire montage from Midoriya letting you know that he's Goku, he's Naruto, he's Ichigo, he's Luffy. He is that fucking guy for this generation. Night Eye is blown away that this kid's heart has the ability to rewrite a future that he had seen, and in all of his time with his quirk, there had never been a moment where he had seen a future that didn't come true. But Midoriya's, he's so fire, he can rewrite the future. They're transporting Overhaul, and the LOD intervenes to rescue him, or at least that's what I thought. Man, I was wrong. As dope as it was to see Midoriya go 100%, as impressive as that was, this was equally as impressive, if not more so. This is a true display, some real LOD supervillain shit. This is what I've been waiting for again. The precision, the brutality of Tomura's plan, it really surprised me. And I sat there and I watched that a few times too. It was pleasantly, I was pleasantly surprised. But they truly fucking took it to Joker levels.
Just like that, you're helpless. A weak, quirkless loser.
Of retribution. Joker, almost Joker level of insanity. Really feels satisfying for some reason. I don't know why, but that was a slick ass plan. then, fast forward to the hospital. Night Eye dies. Episode 78, Smoldering Flames. Opens up with Kurogiri being hunted by Gran Torino. Then they cut to the Midoriya in the hospital and all that other stuff. It was just like, a little connective tissue episode. Not much happened. They're just setting up maybe the next guy, the next fight. Let you know that Tomura was not the only evil seed that's been cultivated. So this other giant dude is on the scene. And that's pretty much all you can say about that one. Like I said, there wasn't really much that happened. It's just set up. It's pretty much it. But these episodes were fire. In the last video, I said that the last 5 that I saw were kind of like, They were 3 out of 5. These were good. These were solid. These were really good. They were building, hit a peak, and came back down. This is that shit. This is what I'm talking about. Back with another 5 next episode. Till next time, enjoy the nerd shit.